It's fantasy football draft season, folks, and today we're talking about must-have wide receivers for your fantasy league. Is Michael Thomas ready to return to wide receiver one territory? One of our writers is going to be on today to explain why MT is a must-have player. Before we do, I want to make sure you subscribe across the board at Razzball Fantasy on YouTube, IG, and TikTok, folks. We have content dropping every day on multiple platforms, so make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, make sure you get those notifications when those new articles come out. Also, make sure you're going to razzball.com. Not only do we do baseball, hockey, and basketball, but of course we do football as well, and it's football season. We have great articles. We have a couple great writers on today to talk about some must-have wide receivers, but also make sure you're checking out the brand new tools we have over at razzball.com. We have the ADP price tool. We have the team name generator. We got everything you need to win your fantasy league. All right, that's enough of me. Let's start this. Now, we have our first quad box today, but I wanted to bring in the man on his own. It's Donkey Teeth. What's going on, dude?
What's happening, Bobby? I hope that Brian Robinson gets well soon.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That was we just talked about him, too.
It was, I feel bad.
That's on us. All right, we got another one of our writers today. It's JB. You can follow him at Fantasy Coach JB on Twitter. What's going on, JB?
What's up, Bobby? What's up, DT? Good to be in the room with my boys again.
Absolutely. JB was my first ever Razzball guest when I was a host, so this is an emotional moment. The guy I've been on the most with and my first. I mean, I feel like I don't even want to get into that. Anyway,
you know what they say, Bobby. You never forget your first, brother.
That's true. That's an unfortunate fact. Speaking of one of our new writers, his first time on the podcast, Jacob Charnow. You can follow him at Jacob Charnow on Twitter. What's going on, man?
What up, guys? I'm excited to be here. First time. I'm excited to be the fourth member of the first quad box. That's going to be exciting.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you guys get me live from my dorm room here.
That's what I'm talking about. We're hip. Not only do we have seasoned veterans, but we're keeping up with the trends. We got the hip college kids on the show. So don't you fret. We're going to have the best takes. You want some seasoned veteran takes? We got those. But if you want something new and fresh, we got those too as well. All right, today we're talking about must-have wide receivers, folks. And must-have wide receivers is really key. I think really today we're going to be talking about players. Most of them are easily obtainable in the mid and late rounds. We're not going to tell you to draft Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Obviously, those guys, if you get them at the right spot in the first round, are absolute studs. But today's really about finding value in your middle to late round. So I'm going to start off with the commander-in-chief, the head honcho, Donkey Teeth. DT, tell us who your first must-have wide receiver is for 2022.
Which guy? I guess we'll go with the guy that's not going to be a surprise to anybody if you've watched our show recently or looked at my rankings is DK Metcalf. I think he's getting really disrespected because of Geno Smith, who is you can disrespect Geno Smith all that you want because he's Geno Smith and he hasn't really proven anything. But DK Metcalf, I mean, the guy, he's going to get it done. He's going to get it done no matter who the quarterback is. Whether he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver or not, where I've got him ranked, I don't know. But you can draft him at the end of the fourth round, which is just ridiculous for a guy that's got the upside of number one overall wide receiver. And I think that these types of narratives, when you lose a quarterback like Russell Wilson and you gain a quarterback like Geno Smith, who is just the absolute polar opposites, it's bound to happen. And it presents opportunities like this with a player like DK Metcalf. He's just unbelievably special talent.
All right, listen, and I think that's kind of surprising. A lot of people are fading Metcalf, so this is a nice fresh take here because I think you're going to start getting him at a nice value in the fifth round. Let's kick it down to JB. JB, who's the first must-have wide receiver you want to talk about today?
Well, since DT went DK, I'm going to have to go DJ. You see what I did there? I'm going with DJ Chark as my must-have wide receiver. And the reason why is because I chose to use this, Bobby, when you gave us this prompt of must-have wide receivers. Like you said, I'm not going for those guys at the top of the draft board. I'm going with guys that at their current ADP, for me, they're a must-have. DJ Chark is going right now as wide receiver 58 in NFFC ADP for the month of August. 58. He's going right around guys like Jacoby Myers, Kenny Galladay, Jarvis Landry, Josh Palmer. Some of those guys are wide receiver threes on their own team. DJ Chark has the opportunity to be the wide receiver one in Detroit. Everybody loves Amon-Ra St. Brown because of what he did last year, right? Amon-Ra's PPR machine. He caught all these passes. He had 90 catches last year. But who else was around him? Hawkinson was hurt. The running backs were hurt. Khalif Raymond was their wide receiver too, for God's sake. I mean, he was the second highest receiving wide receiver. They bring in DJ Chark. He's going to be the main receiver on the outside. You can get this guy in the 11th round. I'm paying up. I'm going to the 9th, 10th. I'm taking him. I'm happy with it. I'm getting a wide receiver 1, receiver 3s, and that's why he's a must-have.
All right. That's a hot take. Honestly, everyone's all over Amon-Ra St. Brown right now. So this is kind of a nice – we have back-to-back fresh takes. Jacob, let's see if we can make it 3 in a row. Who's your first must-have player?
All right, so my first must-have wide receiver, I saw, everyone saw the thumbnail. You've been watching from the beginning. You know that Michael Thomas is going to be on this list somewhere, but I'm going to go on the other side of the Saints receiving core, and I'm going to go with the rookie Chris Olave, currently going as the wide receiver 44 with an ADP of 105.7. Listen, I like Michael Thomas. I'm a Michael Thomas guy, right? I loved him in 2019. I was all over him in 2019. Right now, though, look at this offense. Look at Jameis Winston. Look at what he did in Tampa. Look at how he plays. Look at what he did last year before he got hurt, right? He was launching the ball deep almost every single play to guys like Marquez Callaway. Now you take Chris Olave's speed and a true receiving threat. Deep downfield, we know Jameis likes to throw it deep. I see Chris Olave being Jameis Winston's best friend here. Chris Olave, he's going wide receiver 44, like I mentioned. I like him more than guys like Tyler Lockett. I like him more than Devontae Smith, Chase Claypool. This is some real talent now, a real deep threat. His real deep threat since Mike Evans. You guys remember how good Mike Evans was when Winston was there. I expect that from Chris Olave this year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're about to find out in just a second. We will have basically a debate live on air because someone's going to be talking about Michael Thomas. I am not one of those people. Actually, today I'll be talking about my first player. It's Isaiah McKenzie. Talk about a late-round flyer, the new quote-unquote Buffalo Bills slot wide receiver. So first off, I want to just take a look at the offense. I love the continuity. I know they have Brian Daboll's out the window, but Ken Dorsey's going to be basically calling the same offense. So terminology should not change. Josh Allen should be perfectly fine. And this offense has been absolutely awesome, but for multiple wide receivers. So over the first 3 years with Cole Beasley in this offense, he averaged 120 targets per season. That was his 17-game pace. So this offense offers such a nice high volume for that slot receiver. So I think Isaiah McKenzie taking on that role is offering you a unique perspective. A guy who get 120 targets in the 13th round, I'll take that all day. But let's just forget about that for a second. Look at Isaiah McKenzie, how he's produced when Cole Beasley has missed games. So first off, he missed a game last year. He goes 11 for 125 and 1. Okay, I'm not even hoping for that level of production, but as soon as this guy gets on the field, he goes 11, 125 and 1. Are you out of your mind? It's just one game. No, it's 2 games, people, all right? The next game, the year prior in the playoff game, he goes 6 for 65 and 2. What the hell is going on? Like, who does this guy think he is? Not even getting in the starting lineup, but when he's in the lineup, he completely dominates, and this is the type of ideal target I want on my fantasy teams late. All right, let's get back over to DT. DT, tell us a little bit about your next must-have player.
Well, this guy, he is shooting up my rankings very quickly. It's Romeo Doubs. It's pronounced Dubs, by the way. It's really a perfect storm that's going on in Green Bay right now for this 4th-round rookie. Everybody knows Devontae Adams is gone. It's really a skeleton crew there. There's nothing exciting for Aaron Rodgers to throw to. You got Christian Watson, who everybody was excited about. He's pretty stunted by all accounts here in the preseason and training camp. So if you Google Romeo Doubs and click on news, everything that you find from local reporters is just Aaron Rodgers gushing about this guy. So it's really one of those things that if you start digging, you can't help but love Romeo Doubs. And where you can draft him, he's basically free. You can get him in like the 11th, 12th round. I mean, I'll be reaching into the 9th round. He's one of those guys that everybody's going to know about him by your home draft, but nobody's going to move him up high enough. And then come week 1, everyone's going to be like, why don't I have Romeo Doubs on my team? And, well, some of us will, right, guys?
That's right.
Okay. I don't know about that. I'll be talking about a player very shortly. We're going to have another debate just in a moment. But JB, listen, let's talk about the next player you have as a must-have wide receiver. Who's your number 2 player?
It's great because DT keeps giving me perfect segues, right? He went from Doubs, and I'm going to talk about a guy who's catching passes from a guy who eats Doubs, right? I'm going Michael Thomas, the guy that we talked about in the intro. And it was mentioned before about Chris Olave, and I like Chris Olave. And I think Chris Olave helps Michael Thomas because, like you mentioned, Jacob, he spreads the field. He's a guy who's going to go deep, open the field up a little bit. Defenses might be thinking the way that you are. Well, Jameis Winston likes to chuck the rock, right? So we got to kind of fall back a little bit. Slant boy is going to be going over the middle again. Before last year, when Michael Thomas was injured, before that, he was averaging about 125 receptions a season for almost 1,500 yards a season. He had 2 seasons with 9 touchdowns, and this is a guy that you can now get in the 5th or 6th rounds in your draft. He's got a current NFFC ADP for the month of August as wide receiver 31. This is a guy who used to be regarded as one of the best wide receivers in football. He missed the season. He's coming back healthy. All the reports are saying he looks like his old self again, and you're getting him in the 5th or 6th round of your draft. That could be a league winner right there. If you're drafting those high-end wide receivers, your high-end running backs early, and then you can get this guy who can be a wide receiver 1 in the 5th or the 6th round, I'm all over that, man. I'm gobbling that up like he's gobbling up slant routes. I'm in.
Before I jump down to Jacob, DT, I'm going to have to ask you to put your judge hat on. Who won? Are you going MT or are you going Chris Olave? Who's your pick right on the spot?
I'll take. They both made great arguments, and I'm in on both of these guys, but I'll go with Michael Thomas here.
Wow! Oh my God, the new guy. Come on, he needed this one. JB's going to stay no matter what. Jacob can leave us at any time. Jacob, listen, we're going to give you back the mic. Why don't you tell us who your second must-have wide receiver is?
All right, maybe I could get DT behind this one here because I'm going to go with my second must draft guy here. Wide receiver 21 right now. I got to go. It's Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is so intriguing to me right now because he's a guy who, you go back, if you watch any of my old stuff, before, Stafford got traded to Detroit, but before he got traded to LA, I was like, Stafford needs to go to a real team. He needs to throw to some real targets, and he's going to do well. Lo and behold, that's what happened. I think it's a similar situation now with Allen Robinson going to LA, where he finally has a real quarterback to throw him the ball. Because this poor man has had to catch passes from like the bottom of the barrel quarterbacks in the NFL, man. It's been crazy. And he has had his fair share of injury concerns. But, at that price, wide receiver 21, ADP of around 53.8, just look no further than what these wide receiver 2s have done in this Rams offense, right? Look what Robert Woods has done. Look what OBJ did in the short time that he was there, right? Like that wide receiver 2 role has an impact on this Rams offense. Stafford is going to spread the football a lot more than he did last year. He's going to throw the ball to Allen Robinson, especially in the red zone. He's a crazy red zone threat. Look at these other guys that are going in the same spot as him. Jerry Jeudy, Hollywood Brown, Gabe Davis, Chris Godwin, and Juju. I like A-Rob more than all of them at that price. Give me A-Rob all day. Must have for me.
You're muted there, Bobby.
Oh, man. Look, I'm setting a bad example. All right. But yeah, love Allen Robinson. Love the picks. So far, these have all been great. I'm gonna have to butt heads a little bit here. I'm gonna go Allen Lazard. Now, a lot of people are gonna point to Lazard and say, we already kind of know who this guy is. He's been in the league for X amount of years. And I just want to point out a couple things. First off, Aaron Rodgers has been like one of these type of quarterbacks who you have to earn his trust, and you also have to wait in line. Ask Jordy Nelson, who waited behind Greg Jennings. Ask Davante Adams, who waited behind Jordy Nelson. Those breakout years for those guys, when they became the elite of the elites in their eras, did not come until after the guy before them left. Greg Jennings left. Jordy Nelson comes in. After 4 years of not producing anything, his 5th season, he blows up. Davante Adams, yes, he had a mini breakout in his second season. It wasn't until his 4th year where he had that number 1 dominant season in fantasy. So that's when he came after Jordy Nelson left. I do believe it just from that aspect of it. I love that Allen Lazard is getting underlooked. The other thing is, I know the rookies sound great, but can you ever name a rookie that has played well with Aaron Rodgers? I know Romeo Doubs has been great in the preseason, but I can never think. Davante Adams didn't do it. Jordy Nelson did not do it. Devontae Adams is the best receiver in football. He could not even crack the field a lot his rookie season. He was behind multiple players. So I think that for Aaron Rodgers, he's going to take time to develop his trust. I think Allen Lazard's coming in already as a set wide receiver one. Here's a couple other things. Last season, when either Cobb and or MVS missed time, his fantasy points jumped to 13.3 PPR points per game. Not too bad. When he started seeing more time on the field, he started producing more. But here's the biggest stat. In 2020, the one game, I know it's only one game, the one game that Adams missed with Lazard playing, he went for 6, 120, and 1. Like, he blew up. I just think he's the natural next player up in this offense. And where you can get him in that 6-7 turn, even the 7th round, I want as much Allen Lazard as I can because I see that Jordy Nelson-esque breakout for fantasy football. All right. Now, to be fair, Jake, I'm here to give you some revenge. Who do you pick, Doubs or Lazard?
It's you can't pit me against the guy that just beat me. Like, you can't. Listen,
I did it on purpose.
I know. Listen, unbiased. I promise, unbiased. You know, you look at Lazard and like, he's good, but this is and you say, sure, no rookie has really ever been successful with Aaron Rodgers. But my problem with that statement is now Aaron Rodgers is pissed and he wants to be like, I want to throw to whoever I want. I'm going to break all those narratives about me. I do some weird drugs and I'm going to throw to some random rookie that you've never heard of. So I'm going to go with Romeo Doubs and I'm going to say, honestly, I think it's weird because I think there's a chance that they both finish like relatively equally, like by the end of the season. Like, I think it's possible Lazard goes for the first 8 weeks and is like the clear-cut wide receiver one, but I think by then after week 9, all of a sudden it's Doubs who's having like a monster year. So in my opinion, it wouldn't hurt keeping both of them, but I got to go with the higher upside guy in my opinion, and that's Romeo Doubs.
Okay, Jacob, you're dead to me. All right, that's all we got for today, folks. Once again, I'm your host,
I'm gonna
Bobby
get fired.
LaMarco. No, you're already done. I already said you're done. You're already fired.
I'm gonna get fired. I'm done. It's
You're
over.
fired again.
You're rehired. Good thing DT can make those decisions. Anyway, that's all we got today, folks. I got to go sulk for a little bit, eat dinner, maybe have a nice cry because my own writers don't even respect my takes. But anyway, that's all we got today. It's the must-have wide receivers for 2022 fantasy football. Make sure you subscribe to the Razzball Fantasy YouTube channel. Make sure you go check us out on IG and TikTok as well. We're dropping daily content on there as well. I want to thank all my co-hosts today. You got JB, Jacob, DT. You have all their handles on the screen. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. We appreciate it, guys. Once again, I'm your host, Bobby LaMarco. We are out of here.